Welcome students. Today we are going to see the topic History of Industrial Engineering, and I am Professor K. Kalidas who is going to handle the lecture for you. Now, before going to study about the history of industrial engineering, let us first understand what is the definition of an industrial engineering. American Institute of Industrial Engineers has defined industrial engineering as a field of engineering concerned with the design, improvement, and installation of integrated system of people, materials, equipments, and energy. It means the availability of resources like people, materials, and equipments have been integrated together in order to design and improve a new system or to develop the older system. Where does this industrial engineering starts? The first seed of industrial revolution was put on during the industrial revolution of 18th century. Britain is the birthplace of industrial revolution, and the main two reasons for happening of the industrial revolution were one, the availability of coal and iron ore in Britain, and number two, there are a lot of inventions that have been taking place in and around the world, especially the invention of a steam engine. Now, this availability of coal and iron ore can be made into a product and it can be transported to other places using the steam engine. That was the idea behind the industrial revolution. Before industrial revolution, people were doing the work as cottage industries like handicrafts, vegetables, or even household utility products. Now, once this industrial revolution has taken place, machines and animals have assisted the people. Machines has made the work easier for the people, and animals, especially horses, is being used for transporting of that materials to other places. And also, this rural cottage industries has been replaced by the urban industries where the economy of a particular human being can be improved and his lifestyle has been changed to a very major extent. The major growth during the industrial revolution has taken place in the field of textile industry, transportation, metal cutting, and machine tool production. Once a technology has been identified to cut the metal and produce a machine tool, a lot of inventions has taken place in the terms of production engineering and manufacturing processes. In industrial engineering, there are a lot of pioneers. The first pioneer is Mr. Adam Smith. He is a Scottish economist and he is also known as the father of economics. He, in his book Wealth of Nation, in the year 1776, has put a concept called division of labor. It means every labor has his own capabilities of doing a work. Any labor should not be allocated to do a work which is not known to him. So what happens was he has clearly identified and divided the labor according to their capability. So this was the first seed that was put for any management or scientific management of a particular industrial engineering. The next person is Frederick W. Taylor. He is an American mechanical engineer. He is also known as the father of industrial engineering. He introduced an interesting time study. It means the time taken for doing the particular job has to be calculated in order to improve the performance of a particular person. So he introduced a technique called time study. Every job or every work that is being performed is calculated in terms of time. With the help of the time study, we are able to find out the efficiency of doing the work by a labor. The major four principles of scientific management is, one is work method. It means what is the work he is going to do and how he is going to perform it. Number two, the scientific training. It means suppose if a labor doesn't know that work, he has to be trained in a particular manner such that he becomes efficient in doing that particular work. And instruction and supervision. There should not be any multiple instructions or miscommunication between the labor and the supervisor so that the person can do his work in an effective manner. And finally, division of work between workers and managers. It means the managers also should know the work so that if at any point if the worker struggles to do that particular work, managers should be able to help them in a better manner. The other contributors who stays for the who stays as a contributors for milestones in industrial engineering were, one is Charles Babbage. He is a popular person known to be the father of computers. He has introduced the analytical calculating machine, which has had a very great improvement called computers of today's technology. So using analytical machines, any calculation of the jobs can be done easier. And Mr. Henry Town, he has introduced a formal and improved training methodology for the persons in industries. It means the person who is working over there may not be knowing how to do that particular work. So he should be given a formal training and he should be educated enough to work in the particular industry. So he has introduced a formal methodology for that. The next person is Frederick Hasley. He has made a premium plan for wage management. It means, suppose if a guy is doing an extra amount of work in an industry, how he has to be paid? What is the methodology of giving a wages to a particular labor? That plan has to be framed by Hazley and it is popularly known as Hazley Plan for Wage Management. The next guy is Henry L. Gantt. He has introduced the Gantt chart. What is Gantt chart? Gantt chart is a chart which implicates the amount of work done up by a person in a particular period of time. Say, for example, from morning 9 to afternoon 1 o'clock, a person is going to work in an industry. How he has utilized that particular hours in a better way for the productivity of that particular product. That has been indicated by the Gantt chart. Once this Gantt chart has been introduced, the lethargic way of working by a laborer has been reduced and this Gantt chart has been utilized in an effective way in most of the industries of previous years. Next, Mr. Frank Gilbert, he has introduced a concept called motion study and fatigue study. What is meant by motion study? In an industry, the movement between the machines by a labor is unavoidable. But if a product moves to a machines for a very longer period of time, it means the time has been wasted in transportation inside the industry itself. That has to be avoided. So what happens was there is a prescribed methodology to study the distance matrix between the machines so that we can understand what is the perfect layout of that particular industry and how we can eliminate the wastage of time in between the machines. And fatigue study is nothing but what is meant by a fatigue? Once a person doing the job repeatedly for a longer period of time, of course, the man gets fatigued. So now every job has its nature of becoming a fatigue. Say, for example, if you are looking through a vernier caliper and measuring a product, if this is the job allocated to you, the efficiency of viewing that particular measurement will be surely reduced after a longer period of time. because he is constantly focusing on the measurement, and sometimes he has a possibility of missing the measurement itself. So, how this fatigue can be avoided and how he can be engaged so that he can do his work effectively. That is what is being prescribed by Mr. Gilbert. And Mr. Daimler is the first person to publish a official textbook for industrial engineering, putting on all these techniques that has been used in industrial engineering. And finally, Mr. Emerson has introduced the system called efficiency. Any product or any process has got an efficiency, which is nothing but an output to an input. It means whatever the input that has been given, the required output has to be obtained. If not, the process fails. So it is necessary to introduce a system of efficiency where the products can be effectively. And after the World War II, there are a lot of concepts that has been introduced in industrial engineering. And the first concept is industrial engineering and computers. It means all these measurement techniques, work method techniques, time study techniques has to be integrated with a computer system so that it can be visualized in an easier manner to complete a particular work. The second one is system analysis and design. A system and its parts has to be crucially monitored to analyze and to find out the deficiency of a particular system, and we have to redesign a particular system for improving the performance. Third one, the application of mathematical and statistical tools. Say, for example, if a product fails over a longer period of time, then we have to know what is the probability of failure. Say, for example, 100, for 100 products, if 3 products fails, and this is being repeated, we should definitely have a note of why these 3 products fails. If this is not been done, definitely all these new processes like Six Sigma, lean manufacturing will not be coming into the picture. So after the World War II, the application of mathematics and statistics has made a greater impact. The next one is network planning technique. As said earlier, network is the connectivity between the departments or connectivity between the machines. So a network plan has to be provided to know what is the exact time or what is the exact way of the movement of a product between the machines. Next one is called value engineering. Definitely, every product has a value. If a product is being made and if it is not being sold to a particular value, then of course the manufacturing fails. Say for example, a sweater made during summer season is of less value. So we should identify a process to get what is the value of that particular product. A scientific methodology has to be done. Next one is behavioral science and human values. Of course, as said, every person need not or he cannot stand for a longer period of time. He cannot do the work repeatedly over a period of time, and his work nature is not feasible for him to work. Then of course he's not going to be 100% efficient to do that particular work. So depending on his behavior, how he is performing the work, we are going to analyze the performance in that particular industry. Ergonomics is making your workplace simple, efficient, and caliber enough for the people to work in that particular industry. So, in my lecture summary, what are the things that we have seen? First, what is the need for industrial revolution in the 18th century? As said, with respect to the steel and iron ore transportation. Second one, what are the Henry principles towards scientific management? Yes, given 4 beautiful principles. And what are the contributions made by the pioneers towards the growth of industrial engineering. Yes, we have seen many engineers specifying their scientific ideas towards them. And what are the major developmental areas after the World War II in industrial sectors? So with this, we have learned the history of industrial engineering. Thank you.